Well, I hope you guys are having a great day so far, even though we're in it's a huge crash, but nevertheless, I want to talk about what's going on with the crash, why you shouldn't be scared, and how things work in the world of crypto and also stocks. I decided to do a live. I've been very busy, but I figured that it's best instead of answering all of these questions to just go live. So that's what I'm doing now. Is going live. So I haven't went live from my house in a long time, so trying to make sure I had to reset everything up. But we're here. So how you guys doing tonight? Um, we're gonna talk about a few things. We're gonna talk about we're gonna talk what's happening in you see, we're gonna talk what's happening in stocks and also in crypto, both tonight. Give me a second. I'm still a little bit behind, so give me 1 second to get my notes up, and we'll get started here. So please like the video and please subscribe to the channel if you can. I'm missing some notes here. Give me a second. So hopefully you guys didn't panic sell because it's a reason for what's happening right now, and it's not really that bad. Um, but we'll talk about it in a few seconds. There we go. So we're ready to go. I'm Armando Pantoja. This is a version of it's Future Money. Normally go live on Wednesdays at 5, but today was a special day because we got a lot of questions from you guys asking us what's going on with all the market and everything like that. Let me add the chat in here because I can't even see it. Let me see. How do I add chat in here? Here we go. Add the chat showing the stream so we can see it. There we go. So now we can see it on the screen. So so I just wanted to get on live and just talk about how, and Cole is always is right. The market does tend to overreact in situations like this, especially in cryptocurrency. Right? Is that what we saw today in the market? Is that $1.5 trillion disappeared? Right? And it sounds like a scary number, and I see some of the things that are going around, and it's saying some of the things that are going around are saying that, oh, this is the biggest one ever, and this is so huge, and all of these things. But you got to remember, crypto is the highest it's ever been. So, of course, the dollar amount is going to be the highest in history. For example, if Bitcoin is 100,000, I'm just saying that so we can. The math is easy to do. If Bitcoin's 100,000, it goes down 10%. Every Bitcoin lost $10,000 worth of value. Now, if we go back to when Bitcoin was 30 and it goes down 10%, every Bitcoin lost $3,000 worth of value. So a lot of times they'll scare you with the dollar amounts. 4.5 trillion, the biggest in history. And actually, it's because, yeah, cryptocurrency is the highest it's ever been. Of course, the losses percentage wise are going to be bigger in dollar amounts. Those are the tricks that the media uses to trick you into panicking and giving up and quitting. And that's one of the biggest things that cause people not to be able to build wealth in crypto and stocks is because of that panic. And remember that the media will always they love panic. They love crisis. If you remember back in COVID, they had I don't it was if you go back and look at some of this COVID stuff, it's actually scary. They had on the screen, CNBC had a death counter, and it was going up while you was watching the news about COVID. It said in real time how many people were dying and how many people were sick. Oh, another one died. Okay, count it up, Johnny. I mean, like that's ridiculous now, but that's the media is almost like addicted to that. They love that. Am I live on Instagram? Somebody tell me. Because I went live on Restream this time to see if it was better. Just go live on one platform everywhere and see if it actually works. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you please like the video if you're an old person on the channel. But is anybody on see if I'm live on Instagram and what it looks like because I can't see it. Am I live on Instagram? I appreciate you, Chris Torres. Yeah, there's good buying opportunities. If you want a question, drop a sewer chat. When I see it, I'll answer the question. I'm not live on Instagram. That's crazy. What the heck? It said I was live. Update the channel and provide a new stream key. Okay, so I can't do that. So I got a backup here. So there we go. I had a backup just in case. So we're live on Instagram and also on YouTube. Please like the video. Please subscribe. That's how the algorithm knows that you want to continue to see this content. You have to like the video and you have to drop a comment. Also, it helps me, but it also helps you get the comment that you love. The algorithm no longer prioritizes live video, so you have to do that. So back to what I was saying. I'm gonna stay live 2 hours tonight. What happened today that the markets were rocked after news broke that the US plans to hit China with 100% tariffs, which is ridiculous. And Bitcoin, of course, you got to remember in a time like this, and I've explained this many times, is that Bitcoin it's went up a lot in the last year. People see it, even though the risk perception of risk is higher than the real risk. But the average person sees Bitcoin is full of risk, scams, and all these other things. So, in a time of chaos, or any type of uncertainty, people sell off the either assets that have moved up the most, discounting gold, because gold doesn't count, or assets they deem to have more risk. And within the world of crypto, it's not Bitcoin is the least risky asset. So that's one of the reasons why Bitcoin drops the least in a crash, and XRP has exaggerated losses. Ethereum has exaggerated losses. You go down the chart of the first 100 cryptos, the losses are more exaggerated because first of all, those assets are deemed to have more risk than Bitcoin. And secondly, is that the biggest trading pair for most currencies is Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin goes down, the other ones go down at a higher rate, and also they're deemed to they're assumed to have more risk, so people dump off those assets more than Bitcoin. In the reverse case, when markets go up, all of those coins that have dropped significant amounts, they recover the same amount. So a smart man would look at this. It's a pattern that's happened over and over and over. And I used to make a lot of money on it. Now, to be 100% honest with you, don't have time to do that right now. You know, I'm completely busy. This is the busiest year of my life. I'm writing 2 books. I got a live tour. I have a reality show that's in the works, a couple of them actually. So yeah, I'm a little busy right now. And I speak all over the world. So, I'm traveling a lot. So this is the busiest year of my life. So I can't do that. But you guys can do it. Like when a currency drops down 30%, it's going to recover 30%. That's a 60%, that's a 70%, 30 down. You buy, let's say it's $100, you buy it at 70 and back up 30. That means you made like a 40% return, 45% return on that. We got a question. We got 2 questions actually. Let me get them. I don't want to miss these questions. We got a bunch of super chats. Yeah. If you we are gonna draw if you got the virtual event, JC, we're sending them out tonight. We just finished them today. So as soon as this live is over, I'm going to send them out to the people who vote the edited versions, which are with the slides and everything in it, clear and everything. So also with the plays. So if you purchase the virtual event, you will get it by midnight tonight. Cody says, "You think we're at lows on XRP and Bitcoin? We're probably at a low for this year on XRP right now. I mean, I could almost guarantee you that." Because we're in October. October's barely into October. 34% average crypto increase in October. Also, the fourth quarter is normally a big, big move up for whenever the stock market or the crypto market has been in an up cycle. Then we see the fourth quarter to close out the year very, very strong. So with those drivers, I can't see XRP falling lower than this, unless some war or something, or if China comes back and says we're going to do an even worse tariff. Yeah, of course it's going to go down. But if nothing else changes, no more bad news comes out, this is probably the lowest you're going to get XRP for the rest of the year. We got another one. Fernando says, just wanted to say thanks for your time and sharing your knowledge because I have zero panic today. I'm glad. That's really one of the things that we want to do is to erase that panic. And when you don't have knowledge, what happens is that whenever something happens, you don't understand it. You have gaps in your head and knowledge. So what do you think fills those gaps? Panic. So you panic and emotion, greed, fear, a lot of these other emotions. So hopefully you guys can hear me on Instagram. I got a secondary mic there. So let me know if you can hear me on Instagram. So back to what we were saying is the CNC is wide open. The CNC is four times like this. The CNC is my private community. We talk about stocks, crypto. When markets are crashing like you see now, that's exactly when real wealth is made. While the crowd is panicking over red charts, scary headlines, insiders are setting up those next big plays like we just talked about. That's what we do inside the Chestnut Checkers Group and Academy. We don't react, we reposition. It's not just another signal group. We are more than that. We're an investment community in which we focus on stocks and crypto, but we also talk about real estate and also mindset. You learn exactly how capital rolls in and out of market. If you're serious about mastering the next era of money while everybody else is on the sidelines, DM me the word CNC on Instagram or click the link in the caption on YouTube. So we got 730 people on YouTube, 793 on Instagram. So is it, can you buy the virtual? And if so, where? It'll be available tomorrow. So I'll announce it on Sunday on YouTube. I mean on Instagram, sorry, but it'll be available tonight if you want to buy it. Or the video, if you're in the CNC, you get them anyway. So join the CNC right now, you get the videos anyway, Ray. So that's probably a faster way to get it. Just want to say thanks. Okay, so we got any more questions? So if you want a question, drop a super chat. If you appreciate what we're doing, drop another super chat. So back to what we were talking about is that um, like I said, is that there's when nobody was expecting Trump to drop that tariff. His announcement of sweeping tariffs on Chinese goods sent panic through global markets. Broad sell-off. People panicked. Now, not it happened late in the day, so the stocks really haven't been affected yet. And I'm glad it happened on Friday because it gives the stock market, time to cool off. Now, crypto is a 24-hour market, so it reacts immediately. So what happened in crypto? Remember, crypto is not as regulated as the stock market. Now, another thing you got to remember is that the stock market has more or less two markets: New York Stock Exchange, Nasdaq, and they got the OTC, but that's a different thing. But mostly New York Stock Exchange and Nasdaq. So what happens is that it's only one place that prices are set and prices are fall or rise or whatever. Now, crypto has hundreds of sites. And each site allows different levels of leverages, and there's no rules or whatever. So some people are 100 times leveraged. And what that means for people who don't know what leverage is that some websites out there in the darker areas, or maybe not, maybe it's some other ones, I don't know. For every dollar you put in, they'll give you $100 of whatever asset. So I put a dollar into the system, they will loan me $100 worth of Bitcoin, Ethereum, or whatever crypto, XRP, or whatever. Now, the key is that because I'm only 1%, I'm 1% in. If the stock drops 1%, that means they probably about half a percent. They liquidate me. They take my money back before they lose their money. And I'll give you a good example. I put a dollar in. It's at 100. Now I got $100 worth of assets in the market. Now I'm hoping that it doubles. If it doubles, I can I can take that. Let's say I put a dollar in. $100 I got of leverage. Now that means the market sees it as 100. Now it doesn't, because the exchange loaned me the other 99, right? So now hopefully it goes up double. If it doubles, I take my 200, I pay the exchange back to 99, I keep 101. Now I made 100 times my money by doing that play. Now, but the bad side is that if it drops, now let's say I put a dollar in, give me 100 times $100 worth of assets in the market. Now, if that asset drops half a percent, that means that 50 cents of my money is gone. Now the exchanges don't play. They get scared and they give you what's called a margin call. You got to put some more capital in or you're going to lose your position. We're going to just sell it. It drops down to $99. Your 100 you had in drops down to 99. You lost your entire dollar you had in. They automatically sell your asset. And it's the market sees it as 99 a $99 worth of crypto or asset just got sold at market. They don't know they don't, the market does not know if it's leveraged or if somebody actually did it because it all looks the same. So that looks like a panic sale to the market. Now imagine not one person does this, but thousands of people. And now when that margin happens and all these other margins happens, the market goes down even further. Now the people who were below, now they get liquidated. Then the people below, it's a chain reaction that causes Bitcoin and crypto to have these steep dives up and down because of over leverage, over people over leveraging and those chain reactions in leverage plays. Now it could cause it go down 10, $15,000. People get panic, get scared if they compare it to the stock market. The stock market drops that much, they're gonna shut it down. Short circuit market shuts down, but crypto doesn't do that. There's nothing crypto doesn't have short circuits. So the market does. So if a stock drops a certain amount in a certain time period, they just stop you. They don't let you trade it no more. They give you time to cool off. Crypto doesn't do that. It's a real market. So it does have, it's more volatile and it has steeper peaks and valleys in volatility. So in these times, and to be, I don't, I'm not going to buy any because I kind of bought all the assets I want to buy this year. Um, and I'm building some. I have some money going into some entrepreneurship things that I'm doing. So uh, maybe quantum computer stuff, stocks. But other than that, I'm probably not going to buy any more because I got a lot of money in crypto and stocks right now. So, but other than that, if I was looking to get in, this is a perfect chance to get in because it's going back up, guaranteed. We're in October. The fourth quarter is always good, and there's a reason for the drop that's going to be resolved quickly. China will come back. They will negotiate. 3, 4 weeks from now, the markets will be right back to where they were before. And that's your chance. That's your chance. Now, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you like the video, I would really appreciate it. Also, drop a super chat if you want me to see your question or if you appreciate what we're doing. No, it says no panic here. My bags are packed. Thanks to the education by folks like Tall Guy Tycoon. I'm buying XRP in 21, holding strong on all my positions. I know the knowledge is going to the moon itself. I really appreciate that. The 999 Nola, and appreciate those comments. So let's move on. For people on Instagram, come over to YouTube. There's a lot going on over there. But you can also, um, and also some exchanges froze too. Um, so, like I said, it was $630 million in leveraged positions that got wiped out. Most of those losses came from those who were over leveraged. Which you have to be very careful with leverage because things like this happen, and then people get wiped out, jump off buildings, kill themselves because of this. Because you have to be very careful with margins and margin and leverage. And this is what we call the term for it is actually a leverage flush. That's when the market clears overextended positions. Uh, but it's not a true bear market when this happens in a real market like cryptocurrency. When I say real market, I mean you have to understand the stock market is not a true market because of regulation. There's mechanisms in the stock market to stop it from being so volatile. You can't trade on a downtick. You can't short on a downtick. Or if a stock moves downward so much in a day, they shut the stock down. If the market drops in a certain way, they shut the whole market down. That hasn't happened in a while, but they'll shut the whole market down. Also, they have a lot of other, accredited investors, all these rules and regulations to stop the market from being so volatile. It's not a true market. Cryptocurrency is. In true markets, before 1929, when we had the stock market crash, the stock market was a true market. And that's the reason why if you look back in those days, people were making 100, 300, 400 times their money before that. Celebrities and everything we're talking about the stock market. But because it was immature, and you do need some regulation, it was scams, everything going on. So the market crashed and then it made a bunch of people, it caused the Great Depression. Was one of the causes of the Great Depression. So then it became, they put regulation, all these other things in the stock market. So now it's not a true market anymore. It's still a good market. We still make money, but you have to remember the government is involved heavily in the stock market, and they make sure they reduce the volatility, which could be good is actually, to be honest, good for the average person. The average person can't handle volatility. So but in crypto, there is no government oversight, regulation, rules. So the market just moves freely. And there are some scams and everything like that in there. So it's a freer market, but it's also a more dangerous, more volatile market. But that's what happened is what called this is a leverage flush. It's not really a bear market. And you can tell because you can see in the order books when those short positions, and also I'm sorry, when those long positions and also those leverage positions get hit. You can see it in the chart, and a lot of analysts have already spotted it out. The market has cleared out those overextended positions. It's not a bear market yet. Altcoins were hit harder. Solana, XRP, BNB dropped 10, 20% as people rotated that money into safer assets. Do we have any more questions? Let's take a look. You know, I really like teaching. To let you know, I really like this. I used to be a college instructor, if you can kind of tell. I really like this. I just didn't want to I didn't want to do it in college at a university though. Too much politics. You spend half your time teaching, the other half in politics, going to dinners and graduations, counseling students, which I don't mind that, but so it was a little bit weird. I think I'm gonna lose my audio here. It's red. How would it be red? Let me check it out right here. Yeah, so it should have my audio back. Yeah, so the audio should be good. It went down, but yeah, I do like teaching. So I don't know if you can tell. We got to Mark here. I appreciate that super like. Uh, we got somebody else who's joined as a member, BTC1. Bishop, thank you. I mean, Jacob, I appreciate that. So, like I said, is that leverage flush, altcoins will hit holler. There's probably going to be some volatility ahead for the next couple of days. Bitcoin's overall structure is intact because it didn't pass a key at 112. Let me see where it's at right now. At 112, 113, there's a hard support line. So if it goes below 112, we got problems. But it's kind of close. It's right at 112. Maybe maybe a 111. Let me look. Let me look. Hold on for a second. Uh Now we got a we got a resistance line at around 110, around 111, 110. I'm sorry. So if it falls below 111, 110, we got problems. It's probably gonna go all the way down. So hopefully it doesn't fall below 110, but I don't think it will. Arch buy or sell. You got to remember, everything's gonna be bad if this continues through Monday. All the stocks are gonna drop. And remember, the stocks that had the most gains, Archer, uh, IonQ, Oklo, are gonna get hit hardest because the market tends to see those again as more risky because they may be overinflated. We're going to talk about an AI bubble after this. They could have been overinflated. So people get scared and they say, "Well, I'm already up 80%. Might as well, take my wins and go." So that causes the assets that have grown the most since before that any kind of chaos happens to be hit the hardest. Same thing in crypto. Like I said, if you appreciate the video, please drop a super chat. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, and also like the video. That helps out a lot. Also get get to see some of the content that you love. We only got 361 likes, but we got 1,500 people in YouTube. We got 836 on Instagram. So I need you guys to like the video on Instagram and also in YouTube, if you would. Uh, uh, I appreciate you, Carlos, on Instagram. Like, please subscribe to the channel, like the video. Next thing we're going to talk about, like I said, is there going to be some volatility at? Again, a leverage flush is when the crypto market rapidly clears out over extended traders who borrowed too much, like we said, to bet on rising prices, overextended long. Now, when prices fall, the exchanges automatically liquidate those people because the exchange does not want to take the risk of some loaning somebody that much money and then, and they're not paying them back. So they will force liquidate you. You have no choice in it. And the market sees those as sales. Now that triggers more people to get liquidated. And it's a chain reaction. It drags it all the way down, causes more liquidations. That's when we see a sharp, fast drop in a price that's dramatic, but it's temporary. And remember that it's dramatic, but it's temporary. After the flush, the market is cleaner and healthier, less borrowed money out there, which is a weak market. Credit always causes a weak market. And that doesn't matter if it's in mortgages. That's what happened in 2008. Mortgages or whatever, whenever there's a lot of money out that is loaned, that's what happened with the education system right now. That people don't realize this, but what's happening right now with the education system is because they gave out too many loans and let everybody go to college. But I used a Pell Grant. I didn't have a lot of money growing up, and I also used loans, so it kinda sounds hypocritical to say that, but my brother did not use that because, he couldn't get a Pell Grant. He actually put himself through school and never had didn't have any loans, uh, but s they give out loans to anybody. So people go to school, they don't care, once when you have loan money, a lot of times you don't care because you don't see it as your money, and you're also more reckless because you don't see it as your money. So, uh that causes the market to be full of one, unsavvy investors, and two, to be very finicky. So sometimes the market has to flush these people out. The market's left cleaner and healthier, less borrowed money, a stronger foundation for that strong move up, which I believe what's happening right now with crypto. That's what I'm saying, man. That if you haven't got your portfolio to where you want it to be, this is your chance. Because I'm telling you, we're in October, historically the biggest month of the year for cryptocurrency. We're moving into quarter four, historically the best quarter for cryptocurrency. We're in a bull cycle year. It's gonna happen, almost guaranteed. And I can't say guaranteed, it's not financial advice, but if I was somebody who had capital on the side, I would probably be very aggressive right now. And like you said, when you're aggressive in times like this, you have to expect that you may not catch the it may continue to go down after you bought it, and you double down, bought some more. You see what I'm saying is that you have to understand is that you're not go you highly, highly unlikely to time the bottom. So you buy it with the expectation, maybe 50-50 that it's gonna keep going down. So when it goes down, like somebody said earlier, you got the education, you're not worried. You don't care because you know what's coming next. We got another question. Somebody says, "I have 4 times my investment thanks to knowledge and insight from Armando." Appreciate, I'm glad that was you did that. Do you still see XRP at $8 is bull run with pending ETF applications? I'm still gonna stand on $8. That's another guy out there saying, what, 1,000? That's nearly impossible. It's just markets don't move like that. Now, 1,000, I believe is possible over a much longer time period. But right now, in the next years, we're not gonna see $1,000 XRP. Maybe in 5, 10 years on the low side, probably longer. But it markets just don't move like that. It just doesn't because whenever there's an impulse, markets go up. There's a correction. And there's an impulse like going upstairs. You go up like you playing that one game. What was that game you played as a kid where you could go forward like three, was it like candy shoots or something? I don't remember. Where you would go with like three spaces up, then two spaces back, then three spaces up, then one space back. That's how markets move. So the total amount of spaces that you've taken may be 100, but you've only moved up 20 spaces. That's how markets work. Impulse, correction. Impulse, correction. So the type of if you took away those corrections, yeah, you get to 1,000 in 6, 7 months. But that's not the way the market works. There's corrections, there's consolidation periods. All of that stretches the timeline out a lot farther. And that's the reason why we're not going to 1,000 by anytime next year. Um, Chutes and Ladders, maybe that was it. All those children games are the same, though. I don't know the difference. So somebody he said, "I appreciate the clean spark call, took 3 calls, 1,000% return." Great job, man. So if I had a choice right now, let me see where the market's at. If I'm looking at somebody just asked, should I buy XRP or Ethereum? Now I can't tell you what to buy. I can tell you what I would do if I was going to put, let's say, $1,000 into either one right now. Uh, I'd go with XRP right now because XRP is down 23%. Ethereum's down only 16% for the 7 days. So if you buy XRP now, XRP goes to 8. You'll be up like 300 and something percent. But if you buy Ethereum now, and Ethereum goes up to 12,000, what I thought. Uh, I would I think XRP has a better I think XRP is a better pick right now, but I wouldn't put all my money in XRP because you never know which one is gonna work, so I would probably go heavier on XRP. But, crypto bag, was the dude saying something? I'm gonna go ahead and block him. That dude's probably jealous, he got, like crypto bag, he got, like, 3 followers. He really he's mad because, I know the crypto market, but nobody likes me. Why do people follow Armando? I know it. I made $60 on the NFT back in '21. I really know the market. I put money in Bitcoin, it doubled over the year, my $1,000. I understand the market. Why is he the one that's making it? Man, that's how these people are. They come on hating and stuff. Look at his profile. Somebody tell me how many followers he got. 10? But he's the real crypto guy. I'm the one. I should be out there. I learned on YouTube last weekend. I mean, I don't have the background, the knowledge, the education, the master degree in cryptography. I don't know any of it, but I should be the one, and I hate that guy. That's how these people are. Somebody tell me how many followers he got. Imma block him, but I just wanna see how many followers he got. I bet he has, like, under 500. They're probably fake. He's angry. He gets in the mirror every day mad. "Yeah, I should be one." Yeah. Somebody tell me how many followers he got so I can block this dude. Imma go ahead and block him, man. I ain't worried. Yeah, he's gone. He got 48. I told you. I told you. And got the nerve to call himself crypto guy or whatever. Ain't nobody gonna follow that dude. A lot of people think because they made $80 in NFT in 21, they know the market. You don't know the market. Yeah, it's a lot more than just making. And another thing I want to tell you is that uh, making money in something does not mean you're an expert. I made $3 or $4 million in real estate over the last 3 or 4 years. I know very little about real estate. I just the first time I ever bought investment properties was in 21, beginning of 21. I had some extra money I got from crypto. I said, "Well, I'm gonna buy a couple of houses." I didn't even check the price, didn't even negotiate, just bought the 3 houses, and they all doubled in value. So, I'm gonna start going around saying I'm a genius in real estate. You listen to me, I'm the genius. I made $3 million, a million a year since I've been investing in real estate. No, I just got lucky, and that's what happens to a lot of these people. They confuse luck with skill. And they say, "Well, I'm a great," that ego and that overwhelms, and they believe that they're, there's something else. Now it's another that you should be sued, but it's probably the same dude. I'm gonna go ahead and block him. I mean, remove, he's gone forever. He came on it the dude came on YouTube, started saying, "Yeah," he's all mad. Let's move on. There's a couple of things I wanna talk about is gold has been doing extraordinarily well this year, but I think silver is undervalued. I've been saying this about a month or 2 now. I think that it's a great chance for silver right now. There we go. Uses I hate that dude's he's mad. He put on the dude went over to YouTube for people on Instagram. He put, "Ha, you're so funny. You should do stand-up comedy, clown." This dude is man, that's I must live in this dude's head rent free. Like I said, I'd rather somebody hate me than not know of me at all. So let's move on. Yeah, gold, silver got manipulated in the '80s. Somebody said gold is the next to be manipulated, but silver got manipulated in the '80s. Now, another thing that's happening right now is that uh, a lot of people are saying that AI is in a bubble. Uh, so and a lot of people are starting to get nervous. Now remember, we had a class in the CNC last night on asymmetric investing, and we talked about the market cycles. And we also talked about something else, innovation cycle that happens whenever a new technology comes out. There's 4 phases. The 4th phase is disillusion. And the third phase is disillusion. And that means that whenever there's a new innovative technology, it could be internet, it could be cell phones, whatever, whatever we back in the '80s, personal computers, the market is it's a hype cycle that pushes the market up. And that's where a lot of the capital comes from to push that, innovation ahead. But once innovation starts to become normal, everyday life, it becomes mundane. People are too familiar with it. So what they do is they start to see it not appreciate its value, and that's called disillusion. So companies start saying, "Oh, AI is not that great." All these things start to happen, and then the value that that technology has is not, you know, exponential like it was at the beginning. And people start to, not respect it. People that the hype goes away. Now remember, hype pushes it up at first. Hype goes away, the assets drop to what the price they should have been all along. It's almost the true intrinsic value. So, and then people call that a bubble. So hype pushes it up too far. People get disillusion happens. The hype goes away because of disillusion, and then the prices are back to where they should be in the first place. Oh, the bubble burst, but that's probably what's gonna happen with AI, and it could be happening now, it could happen next year, I don't know, but eventually it will happen. Uh, AI continues to hit record highs, uh, and a lot of people are saying when AI bubble, and a lot of times when the media starts doing this, it starts to be a a self-predicting type thing is that they say it, then it happens, right? Just like in the '90s dot-com boom. So, Bitcoin and, AI has been in tight correlation. Both of them have made get to the highest they've ever been in a year. Um, so, and it's also in technology, it's also emerging technology. So a lot of people who are invested in crypto and blockchain also invested in NVIDIA, OpenAI, AMD, Oracle, BBAI, all these other things. That's what analysts are starting to call a circular funding loop. So it could be inflating valuations across tech and crypto. Now, um, and some people are saying it could be an 80% crash warning. I don't think that it'd be that deep, but that's what a lot of analysts out there are saying. Uh, and people are starting to get worried about AI being in a bubble. So, when markets are crashing, that's exactly where real wealth is made. In the CNC, my private community, the crowd panics over red charts, scary headlines, insiders. In the CNC, we set up our next plays. That's what we do. In the CNC group in the academy, we don't react, we position. It's not a hype room, it's not a signal group. It's where future millionaires are made. We made 43 millionaires. Last weekend, we gave out awards. We gave out one $10 million. Somebody just made 10 million in our group. 2 more people made $1 million, and I think like 10 or 12 made $100,000 mark. We gave those at our event this weekend. We gave those out, and every few months we're going to start to give those out as people reach those benchmarks. Now, if you're serious about mastering the next era of money, where everybody else is freezing, DM me the word CNC or hit the link in my bio or in the caption before uh, today. So we're going to talk a little bit about Wall Street, and we're going to go back to XRP, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. But Wall Street is at a record-breaking couple of years. Trump shut all that down with threats of 100% tariffs while the government is shut down. Those are 2 things that appear it's causing a lot of uncertainty. Actually, the market absorbed that, the government shutting down. It was the best I think I've experienced maybe 4 or 5 government shutdowns in my lifetime, maybe 3 or 4 since I've been into the stock market in my early 20s. But Every single time except this one, there was a steep drop. This time, there wasn't much of a drop. Bitcoin went down 0.5%. It was not, you couldn't even really see it in the markets. It was no different than just a normal down day. But this time, the market really took a hit, when Trump said he's gonna charge 100% tariffs on Chinese goods. A lot of people are afraid of that. That's a pretty high tariff. I wanna say, what's your prediction? Sylvia says, "What's your prediction for Archer for 2026? So you think it would double?" I'm almost certain it will double, but it's not financial advice, but I think it's gonna double. Thank you for the super chat. What happened to Bitcoin going 55 higher by the end of the year? It's still gonna go there, Arson. And that what Arson right now, Arson just put into YouTube, he said, "What happened to Bitcoin going to 150 this year?" All right, so what you're experiencing right now is what's called the anchor bias. It's in my book too. Let me see if I can show you guys my new book. Yeah, let me see. I would appreciate if you guys would. I'm trying to get my book sales up because this is by a traditional publisher, so I do get reports to the New York bestsellers list. So I would appreciate if you guys would go out and pre-order this book. Let me see if I can show it to you. Mhm. Yeah, so here's the book. You see, I ordered my own book right there, so you guys can do the same. Pre-order the book. It'll be here in February 10th. I'd really appreciate that. If you learned a lot, if you've grown with me, where you could pay me back. The book is by Wiley, which is one of the biggest right now. It's number one new release right in commodities trading right now. Is It's doing pretty good. So Wiley is the publisher. One of the, I think it's the second or third biggest publisher in the world. I have True Book Details, publishers Wiley, and they've Wiley produces a lot of the school books and a lot of books that you see. Uh, all the for Dummies series is by Wiley, so it's a traditional publisher. I really appreciate if you guys would go out and get this. Don't get the red and black one. Get this one, the revised and updated edition. You guys can't see it here, but I can't show it to you. But get the red and black on Instagram. We talked about Archer already. Remember, these stocks that the emerging technology stocks have been invested in, they're all going to get hit hard on Monday if nothing changes. All of them. You have to understand. This is an opportunity, though. It's an opportunity to get more. Let's move on. What are my notes saying? So, like I said, is that billions of dollars got wiped off the board today. The rally AI built in crypto, but it certainly is starting to show some cracks. Investors are panicking, and people are wondering: is this a pullback or is this something bigger? Now, in crypto, I think this is just the leverage. It's just a leverage flush. That's all it is. And I think that eventually, over time, over the next few weeks, what two things going to happen? They're going to Now that Trump hit with 100% tariffs, China has to come back and negotiate. They're gonna figure out something, right? They're gonna figure out something. Two, it's a people on Instagram, it's a black and, you have to look up, it's called The Strategic Millionaire. It's on, YouTube. I mean, sorry, it's on Amazon, and it's a revised and updated edition. Do not get the red and black one, get the gold and black one. That's the new one. It's a lot bigger, a lot more expanded, has more diagrams, and it was edited by the team over at Wiley. Top tier editors. So back to what I was saying is that so a lot of people are starting to think there's cracks in the AI bubble, AI stock world. I don't think we're close to a bubble now, but it will eventually form into a bubble. That's human nature. People get greedy. They don't stop buying. They push everything into a bubble. The S&P 500 was down almost 3% today. Nasdaq was down almost 4%. This was the announcement was later in the day. That's crazy. Dow Jones Industrial Average was down almost 2%, all because Trump's plan to impose 100% tariffs on Chinese imports by November 1st. Shockwaves through the global market. Major tech hit was hit the hardest. Nvidia, Tesla, Amazon, AMD all dropped a lot as investors rush to get out of those high growth tech plays. That's what people see as having the most risk. The stocks and assets that have went up the most are the ones that investors see as having a higher risk level, which I don't agree with that, but that's the way the market sees it, and that's the way it happens. I appreciate you guys buying the book. Please, I'm gonna do the audio book, Terrence. Actually, if you join the CNC, the audio book's in there. I just never uploaded it to Amazon. So, but the people in the CNC get a free audio book. It's in the CNC. I just never got around to uploading to Amazon. It's kind of hard, but I got a publisher now, so they do all of that. But, before my internal team was doing it, and you gotta level out it was very difficult to do that. So I actually recorded it. I just never uploaded, but, it's in the CNC for members, and I will record the second one more, professional way, and the publisher will actually, publish that. Let's move like I said, major tech sell-off, AI mania is under pressure. The sell-off has raised significant questions about whether AI is an overheated market, and people are starting to say it echoes the dot-com boom. We've been on a record rally the past few years. SP 500 and Nasdaq just hit record highs, actually last week or this week. Now, both have suffered their biggest single-day losses in 6 months. JP Morgan and, I hate this dude, but Jamie Dimon, warned that this week the markets could face a major correction within the next 2 years as a lot of valuations, he says, are not real, and he thinks a lot of things are overvalued. Now, the tariffs hit significantly hard for a lot of reasons. Markets had priced in it was a big Trump, tariff scare earlier this year, and that's what short-circuited the rise of Bitcoin temporarily and crypto in general, because over 3 months, maybe February, March, and April, I think maybe even in June, it was these tariff wars, that so the markets were almost at a standstill, especially crypto. Stocks did better, but crypto didn't move at all. So once that was over supposedly, the markets priced in the calm that they believe would happen for the next year. So people began were becoming more confident buying stocks in more risky type industries like AI, emerging technology, quantum computing, because they felt like the environment will be stable from here on out back in June. But unfortunately, that's not what happened. Trump's tariff threat landed, it blindsided people who were already a little bit uneasy about all these stocks and everything going up to, the prices being overvalued. That's what people say it, people are thinking. So when the tariffs hit, people didn't even expect this. So it blindsided the investor. People panicked. They believe that tariffs are going to rise cost, pressure profits, and also they believe that China may retaliate. And that's gonna China, we depend on China for a lot of goods. Walmart is like, I think 70% from China, so if they retaliate in China, they be willing to take a lot more pain than we will, because they can produce all their own stuff, we can't. So, that's why I don't understand why Trump goes against China. I think we should have done something about that 20 years ago. I believe it's too late now. We don't have a true manufacturing workforce or base here in the US no more. We become a nation of managers and, support people. And I can tell you right now, in your life, how many people do you know personally that work in manufacturing? When I grew up, it was almost everybody. I don't know anybody right now that goes it could be because I changed, I was poor, now I'm rich, but besides that, even people that, my cousins and stuff back in Tennessee, no, they don't work in manufacturing, but when I grew up, almost everybody of any type of middle class, bearing, they worked in some type of way with manufacturing, and I was in Middle America too, so South Middle America, so maybe that has something to do with it. But now, that doesn't happen no more. Nobody wants to work. Everybody was lazy. Some kids came to my house and said, "We'll pull your weeds today." Actually, I gave them more money, but, they said, "We'll pull your weeds." And I said, "Alright, go on how much can we go around the house, give you an estimate?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, we only do the front." It's alright. That's cool. There's a few weeds out there. I like kids that show ambition. So I was thinking in my mind, I said, "Well, I give these kids a couple of" it was 2 of them, 2 brothers. I give one, $20 each, that'd be good. So they came back and they said, there's a lot of weeds." I said, "Well, how much to pull the weeds?" It's 90 each. $90 to pull weeds? And I said, "Yeah, I ain't paying that much." I said, "I'll give you guys 40 each." Yeah, how they looked at me and said, "I don't know about that." Can we think about it?" I said, "Yeah, think about it, come back. If you wanna come back tomorrow, that's cool." So they ended up coming back the next day. I guess they couldn't find anybody that was gonna pay them $90. So they came, did a good job. I ended up giving them 75 each. I gave them 150 and told them to split it. But because I like to see the innovation, it wasn't about the work. $90 is too much to do the work, but I would give them more because I like to see children take initiative like that. It's very rare in today's world, even with adults. Adults don't wanna work. So when I see that, I'll try to make sure that, I make sure I encourage that. But that's the world we live in. Nobody wants to work, and everybody wants ridiculous money for any time they work. Ridiculous amounts of money. I don't know what's happening in society. It could be a symptom of inflation. It all started after COVID. I don't know what COVID did, is that now no, it's very difficult to find anybody that wants to do any work. And they always want ridiculous amounts of money. My videographer came to me and he was like, I have a new one now. So that tells you he's a good guy though. So if he's listening, he is a good guy. I'm gonna tell the story anyway though. So the dude, he writes me a text and he says, now remember, he just learned how to be a videographer. He doesn't have an education, didn't go to college for it. He's like, and I'm paying him an amount. He's like, I'm paying a good amount, man. Good. He's only part-time. So I'm paying him part-time. And he writes me and said, "What do I need to do to make $100,000 with you?" $100,000? No, I said, "Well, I looked it up online and the average CNN, entry level videographer makes 75." And I was like, "Well, I mean, you'd have to be as good as a CNN videographer, and secondly, you'd have to find other ways to produce income for me, and you make a I mean, and that's the mean, but people want ridiculous amounts of money for work. Like, I don't get it." And a lot of people are like that, especially the younger generation, Generation Z. And like I said, Daniel, it could be a symptom of the dollar getting weaker and weaker and people struggling to keep up. That could be what it is, and I'm okay with that. And it could be. And I'm not really, if you notice the way I talk, I'm not blaming the people. I'm saying that I said it from the beginning. I said maybe it's a symptom of inflation in the market that when it could be, and I'm okay with that. Could be the market as a sign of rapid inflation. The dollar is down 12% this year. It says, "Tell me what kind of work you know how to do." I mean, I worked in factories before, all through college. I was a teacher for a while. I was a software engineer for many years. I mean, I don't know what else I know how to do. I mean, I grew up on a farm, so I worked the farm when I was my later teen years, construction and all that other stuff. So I mean, like, um, I don't know what else to say. Steven Marchand says $100,000 a year is not even a ridiculous amount of money. Yeah, it is. Only like 10% of people make the average income is 55,000. Now, I'm not saying that's good, but that's the average income. So now you're talking about double the average income. I mean, yeah, that's a lot. If you make that, you should be very thankful and blessed. And don't walk around with an ego. You're blessed to make that much. And that's what we don't do inside. You're blessed to have a six-figure income. That's not a right. You're blessed to have it. And you may have earned it, you may have worked for it, and that's all good, but you have to appreciate making that kind of money. And like I said, I know inflation is hit, but still, if you look at the data, that's well above average salary. We be speaking at any event in the future. I've been speak I had a event last weekend. And McDonald's and people always say that McDonald's managers make 100,000. Yeah, but McDonald's managers are specialized people who work overtime and work 60 hours a week, and they manage a team of people. They have to have specialized skill. Walmart managers make 250. So in compare if you look at manager to manager, McDonald's managers don't make nothing. Like, that's what I'm saying is that sometime Walmart managers can make 500,000 depending on the location they're in and also what they do and how long they've been there. Now, as a manager, a McDonald's manager is underpaid actually for as much as they work, as much as they have to do. Yeah, they're underpaid. So let's move on to the last thing we're talking about. Uh, yeah, another thing that's happening right now is XRP is sliding pretty fast, but that's back to what we talked about earlier. We got a super chat here. So somebody says, Quantum Queso says, "What do you think of BTC miners pivoting to AI?" I think it's a smart idea. AI, I was actually trying to do that, but it didn't go through because we couldn't get the servers fast enough to make a good profit because they were back ordered from NVIDIA. But last year, when I was looking into investing in or starting some server farms with AI, they were making 60% year over year in return on investment compared to about 20, 30% with Bitcoin at the time. So yeah, it does make sense. If you're running a Bitcoin mining operation, you're running a big server farm with processes. You have to keep those processes cool, and you have to manage the electricity going in and out. Why not just do that with AI? That's a smart move because it's the same type of business, but the returns are higher for now, and you can always go back. And it's you can always go backwards, and AI servers last longer. Bitcoin miners go out every 18 months to 2 years. They're worthless. So, because it's competitive. AI is not as competitive. So, and remember, when I say competitive, I mean that the Bitcoin network is built to be competitive. So it will always increase. The hash rate, you need to to mine a good amount of Bitcoin will always increase because it's built to be competitive. It's built there. But AI is not built to be competitive. It's competitive, but it's not a built-in mechanism of a AI network. Each AI is independent. Each AI server or whatever is independent. I bet you the audio went off because somebody called. So, it doesn't make sense business-wise. You just looking at numbers. I knew I was muted, man. I knew that was gonna happen. Somebody called me and messed it up on Instagram. Whenever they do that, it messes me up. The audio goes off. So, let's see if it comes back. If it don't come back, you have to go to YouTube. Um, you guys can hear me now? If you can't hear me, you had to go to YouTube. I don't know, man. Uh, whenever somebody calls me in the mouth, I forgot to put it on not do not disturb. It does this every time. Why would somebody call me at 10 o'clock at night? Can you guys hear now? Oh, it's good. It came back. So yeah. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna stay online another 15 minutes. Make sure if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, and also please like the video. We got 605 likes, but we've had 4 or 5,000 people come through this live tonight. So you guys should be liking the video, and also on Instagram. We actually had 10,000 people on this live so far today. Overall, 144 impressions. So that's pretty good live. So I need you guys to please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Like the video. 600 likes, but we got 1,000 current visitors. So some of you guys are slacking on the likes. So move on. Uh, like I said, there's a big support line of XRP at 220, and we're at 234 now. So it has to hold that 220 line in order for it. We don't want to see it fall below that, but there's still hopes out there for ETF, US spot XRP ETF. And I believe that's gonna be finished, sometime later this year, and like I said, is that right now we're just seeing a flight to safety. as people are moving away from assets like XRP, Bitcoin, and a lot of AI and quantum computing stocks to move into cash because they want to just wait it out or try to buy back in at a lower amount. And like I said, it's all of these things, especially in crypto, it's temporary. And like I said, as an investor, I love these types of things. Is that when there's a regulatory issue or something that happens on a world stage that I know for a fact is temporary, it causes a flash crash in an asset. Those are opportunities. That's when you jump in and you buy aggressively. This is all temporary, and I know there's a bias. I didn't finish this last time. There's a people humans have what's called every human has it. You have to fight it constantly to be a good investor. It's called the anchor bias. What a lot of people do, everybody does this, is that whatever's happening right now, your mind will convince you that this is the way things are gonna go from here on out. So the only way that you can convince yourself that the future will be different is by education and constantly understanding the data and how things move and understanding how the market works. Otherwise, by default, your mind makes you believe that whatever is happening right now, it will continue to happen in the future. That's the reason why a lot of people outside of the markets commit suicide, is because their life is going bad, especially kids who don't have mature brains yet. Their life is bad, so they believe that it's gonna continue to be bad. Today is what it's gonna always be. So they commit suicide. In markets, people look at the markets falling, it will continue to fall. So I gotta get out and sell everything before it's too late. And a lot of people lose a lot of money and a lot of potential wealth by doing that. Somebody said, "What are some good cryptos to throw $1,000 or so in?" Well, there's a whole bunch of them that's down now. Look at the charts. This is what I would do. Go to the crypto charts, look at the ones that are down the most in the top 50 and buy those. Because when the market recovers, those are the ones that when they go back to where they were before, those are the biggest gains you're gonna get. That's what I would do. Find the top 50, put your money in the ones that took the biggest losses and just wait for them to and spread it out among a bunch of them, and then you'll probably make 20, 30% in less than 3 weeks. Somebody says Jobby versus Archer. The reason why I don't Archer has a contract with the government, Jobby doesn't, far as I know. That's the reason why I picked, Archer over Jobby. You know, XRP has a lot of haters. But with that being said, you got 9 minutes, but, please, if you've liked what we talked about so far, drop a super like. I would really appreciate that. Also, subscribe to the channel and please like the video. I would also appreciate that. Also, join the CNC. Like I said, times like this is when the CNC really does uh, give its value. The markets are crashing. That's when real wealth is made. While everybody else is panicking, looking at red charts, scary headlines. Our insiders, moderators, and analysts inside the CNC are setting up the next big plays. We're uh, we're doing technical analysis, fundamental analysis to find out what the best stocks to buy at this time are. We don't react to what's happening. We position, not emotional reactions. We strategize, not just another hype group, not signals. Where future millionaires are made and forged, learning exactly what capital is rotating, which assets are ready to rebound, and how to move before the masses. If you're serious about mastering the next era of money, DM me the word CNC on Instagram and go to join the CNC anywhere. And also on YouTube, you can click the link that is in uh, that is in the caption. Thank you for pre-ordering the book, Dawn. So, let's read some questions. Fingers crossed CNC will have Black Friday offer. Maybe. I don't know. Thank you for tonight's live. I appreciate you, Hydro. Thank you for always elevating the people around you. It was great meeting. It was great meeting you too, Cole, this weekend. Thank you for the super chat. You see there just made unemployment 800 a week. God dang, man. I mean, now rent's like 1,500 now in Florida at least. Oliver Hernandez says price fix for Clean Spark and SMR for the end of the year. I really don't know, but I think both of those are gonna go up a lot this year. I don't know. Assistant Soldier, I remember you. Thank you for all you do. Thank you so much. Um, 800, well, bill collector, what state is that? 800 a week. That's crazy, man. Armando, what moment or decision in your journey changed how you view money and success? Really, in 2007, 18, the beginning of 18, really the deal was done in 17, but I got the money in 18. I got one of my companies got acquired for millions and millions of dollars. I was a multimillionaire. But up until that point, what really changed the way I see money is hanging around people that had money. Older people, like all my life, I've hung around older people. And that's just I don't know, maybe it just happened or maybe I don't know, but a lot of times if you hang around people who are older, wealthier than you, some of the way they think rubs off on you, and I noticed that people who were rich, they didn't have the scarcity mindset. They were more free with money, they thought of money differently and more abundant with money, so some of that rubbed off on me. I was very cheap all the way till I was about 31, 32, and that's the reason why I couldn't make any money. So when I finally released myself from that scarcity mindset, and I know people talk about this all the time, it's practically a cliche, but it's the truth. Scarcity, I would like even when I was running my software company early on, when I was in my late 20s, I was so cheap, I wouldn't buy equipment or software. I was, like, pirating Photoshop so I wouldn't have to pay for it, but, the pirated version would crash every day or so, so you'd have to start over your work. So the work that I was losing by starting over every day, or and randomly starting over, never know when it's gonna crash, was actually costing me the $1,000 I coulda just paid for it. So those things kept me down actually, and I thought I was being smart and frugal, but those were keeping me down. Now, it's a difference between being cheap and being smart with money. Now, a smart person with money would have said, "Well, Imma spend 1,000 on Photoshop because my time is worth $200 an hour, and every day I'm losing an hour. So over a week or 2, Imma make the money back." But a cheap person looks at money first. They don't even look at anything else. So they live that lifestyle like that every day. Photoshop crashes on you at least once, and you lose an hour worth of work. See, that didn't even make sense, but that's how cheap people are. They don't even make sense, and that's how I was. But I changed, and now I'm different. So we got about a few more minutes. Please like the video. If you ever subscribe to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Oh, New York is kinda expensive anyway, so, 800 may not be that much up there. I spent 10K on Photoshop. Yeah, back in the day, it was expensive, but that makes sense though. Now it's cheap. So yeah, drop a super chat if you liked what we talked about today. Also, please like the video. I'd really appreciate that. Also, if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to the channel. The audiobook in the app is it's somewhere under the I don't even know if it's there. It was in the old app. Maybe I'll check. Just DM me on Instagram and I'll give you the link. I may have to add it because we just got that app in the CNC maybe about 3 weeks, 3 months ago. So We may have not moved over to audiobook. I think it's in there though, I'm pretty sure. Can't check now, but like I said, DM me on Instagram and I'll check. I believe it's there though. Photoshop's easy now. I mean, like, you can just type in commands in AI and it does all the work for you. You know how hard it was if you, and that learning Photoshop young when I was in my early 20s, um, I was a, instructor at a small college in Tennessee after I got out of my undergrad, and I taught computer science. And they were like, they said, "Well, you wanna teach, Microsoft Office classes too?" And I said, "Yeah, I know Office. I can play. I'm qualified." So I taught Microsoft Office classes too, but on those computers in that lab, they had Photoshop. So I would do a class and I'd have an hour break or 2 hours break between the classes. So what I would do is I would just go online and find tutorials and I learned Photoshop. That was one of the best skills I ever made in my I ever got in my life, Photoshop. And for years, I made money and edited my own stuff for years with Photoshop. And that probably made me millions of dollars just learning Photoshop during those breaks. And Photoshop now it's getting easy with AI, but, even now, uh, AI will probably get better, but you can tell, uh and there was a study that they actually put out. They said that humans are starting to become finally attuned and aware to AI created documents and graphics. So, there's something about AI text on a graphic you can kinda tell it's AI, like, the edges aren't as it's like the edges aren't as, sharp. It's something I can look at it and tell somebody created this with AI, and most of you guys can too, and it's becoming more and more obvious because our brains are changing to be able to spot that. So now any kinda AI type graphics are gonna be perceived as cheap, like templates were for many years. So now true designers actually separate themselves more from the average person. AI videos feel weird. You can still you gotta tell they're AI, and that's probably gonna happen for a while because it's one thing people are leaving out in the AI race is that in technology and anything in life, even when you paint let's say I paint these walls in this house, in this room, right? Now I can paint 90% of these walls in probably an hour and a half, but guess what? It's gonna take me another 2 hours to finish the job. 'Cause it's easy to just go with a big roller over the walls, but what about the edges around the, light, switch and around the outlets and, clean painting the baseboards? The details, the last 10% sometimes takes just as long as the first 90%, and I believe that's how AI is gonna end up. We may have got to this point in AI, but that last bit to make it perfect is gonna take a little bit longer than most people are expecting. So, like I said, if you're interested, wanna talk more about AI, please subscribe to the channel. We talk about XRP a lot and also like the video. Yeah, but even when you develop an AI gets you 90% there, but you still gotta do the last 10%. AI will help you out a lot with designs, but you still gotta do the last 10%. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a great night. Please drop those super chats, uh, if you would, and also, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share this video with your friends. I appreciate you, and have a great night.